Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Thunder Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for post the December 2024 ban list. We have Thunder Dragon Colossus off of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list, so we can now run this fusion monster at full power in the Thunder Dragon deck, which is a light and dark type of banished style deck, setting up different Thunder monsters on the field, or Thunder Dragon monsters, and gaining different card effects when those different monsters are banished. So we use some of the bigger main deck monsters to banish these cards off of their engine, and then also be able to go into our bigger fusion monsters, whether they be for the tribute option for special summoning out the Thunder Dragon monsters or using the spell Thunder Dragon Fusion. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. For the Thunder Dragon monsters, we run 3 copies of Thunder Dragon Dark. Quick effect, you can discard this card to add 1 Thunder Dragon Dark from your deck to your hand. If this card's banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand, except for Dragon Dark. You can only use 1 Dragon Dark effect per turn, and only once that turn. So being a quick effect, you can even discard this card during your opponent's turn. If you go second against them, having that discard gives you an option to have the search ready for another Thunder Dragon Dark and another additional monster in your graveyard to use, whether it be for a banish option or just set up for some other special summon plays using these monsters. We also run 3 copies of Thunder Dragon Hawk. You can discard this card to special summon 1 of your Thunder Dragon monsters that is banished in your graveyard, except for Thunder Dragon Hawk. And if this card is banished or sent from the field of the graveyard, you can shuffle any number of cards from your hand into the deck, and then draw that same number of cards. So this is also just a way, if you have your Dragon Dark in the graveyard, being able to discard this card, special summoning back that Thunder Dragon Dark onto the field, and then making use of the special summon during a turn a Thunder monster effect was activated this turn. So then you can tribute the Dragon Dark and then summon out your Thunder Dragon Colossus just with that one play there. So this card acts as a way to special summon those resources back from the graveyard. And 3 copies of Thunder Dragon Roar. You can discard this card to add to your hand 1 of your Thunder Dragon cards that is banished or in your graveyard, except for Dragon Roar. And if this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 of your Thunder Dragon monsters from your deck in defense, but return it to the hand during the end phase. But still, you'll more likely use this card as a resource, depending on what you may have in the extract for you to use with this play. You go and use 1 Thunder Dragon Roar effect per turn, and only once that turn, which is once again the limitation for these cards, but they all work well together to go for that setup. And then we also run 3 copies of the original Thunder Dragon. You can discard this card to add up to 2 Thunder Dragon from your deck to your hand. So even if you have the 2 in your hand, you can at least discard the 1 to add an additional copy. And then this can act as your Thunder Dragon monster effect for the turn to then go for the tribute of your Thunder Dragon monster as well. So another 3 of, just as a very good resource to rely on for that play. And for the last of the Thunder monsters for the deck, 3 copies of Thunder Dragon Matrix. Quick effect, you can discard this card, target 1 Thunder monster you control. It gains 500 attack, and if this card is banished or sent from your field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Thunder Dragon Matrix from your deck to your hand. You can only use 1 Thunder Dragon Matrix effect per turn, and only once that turn. So more setup as well if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, having a search. So even if you use this card for an extra deck summon, you can grab another copy of this card. You can only use the 1 effect per turn, but still just adding as another resource to go for. Now this next spot can either be the Aloof Lupine that I run or the Battery Man Solar. For this spot here, having a send effect off of Solar and being able to gain tokens is a very useful card effect. Aloof Lupine, when it's normal summon, you can banish 1 monster from your hand and banish 1 monster from your deck with the same type as that monster. So more banish power off of Aloof Lupine as well as your go-to normal summon. And if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can target 1 of your banished monsters and add back to your hand. And then there's that recycle power as well to grab other Thunder Dragon monsters, just keeping the Aloof Lupine on the field to use. For the bigger main deck boss monsters that we run, I run 2 copies of the Chaos Creator, 1 copy of Dragon Duo, and 1 copy of Thunder Dragon Lord. With all these cards having the option of cannot be normal summon or set, they must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 1 level 8 or lower Thunder monster from your face up on the field or your hand for Dragon Lord, and then being able to banish for 1 light and dark from your graveyard for Dragon Duo, and then the 1 light and dark monster from your graveyard as well for the Chaos Creator. All of them are different Thunder monsters as well. And if you control this card with Special Summon from your hand, you can target 3 banished monsters with different names and Special Summon one of them. Place the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order, giving you more resources with the Chaos Creator, more attack power with Dragon Duo, and then also the option for the different protection for your Dragon monsters or Thunder Dragon monsters with Dragon Lord. And then for other banish options from the graveyard, running a small Bysteel package as well. So the 1 Druid Worm, the 1 Baldrake, and the 1 Magnamut for the remainder of the main deck monsters. For the spells, running 3 copies of Thunder Dragon Fusion. You fusion summon 1 Thunder Fusion monster from your X deck by shuffling the fusion materials listed onto it into the deck from among your cards in your field, in your graveyard, and or face-up banished cards. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to add 1 Thunder monster from your deck to your hand. So search power for those Thunder cards, but also just being able to recycle back your monsters to go for your Thunder Fusion. Having the play to go into, which you just need a Thunder Dragon plus 1 Thunder monster to summon out Dragon Colossus with the fusion play, or 3 Thunder Dragon monsters to summon out our Thunder Dragon Titan with this card. I also run 3 copies of Allure of Darkness just for the added draw power, but also then being able to grab a banish resource if you banish one of your cards, and then having that additional play for that card that was banished. And also the 1 copy of Instant Fusion and the 1 copy of Ready Fusion as more targets for summoning out Kaminari attack, so then we can get another Thunder Dragon or Thunder monster on the field to use for the tribute of our option for our monsters, or the added play by tributing that monster, or at least the resource on the field to use for summoning out those monsters also. And then for the rest of the spells, 1 copy of Call by the Grave, 1 copy of 1-for-1, 1 Chaos Space, and 1 Gold Sarcophagus, having the banish option for Gold Sarcophagus, the search option for our cannot be normal summoner set monsters for our bigger lineup, the 1-for-1 for summoning out Dragon Matrix to use as an extra resource, and then the Call by the Grave is just a way to shut down any of our opponent's graveyard plays or any of their hand traps they may try to use against us. For the traps, running 1 copy of Thunder Dragon Discharge, and then the 2 copies of Thunder Dragon 100 Thunders. You target 1 Thunder monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then you can special summon as many monsters with the same name as possible from your graveyard. The monsters special summoned by this effect are banished when they leave the field, and while they face on the field, you cannot special summon except for Thunder monsters, which isn't really a lockdown in this deck, and it's just a way to give us another banish resource when they leave the field, with Thunder Dragon Discharge being able to protect the activation of our Thunder monster effects, and once return if a Thunder Dragon monster is normal or special summoned to your field, you can target a spell trap on the field and banish it, getting around some of the destruction plays of those spell and traps on the field also. That is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the X deck for the card that is fresh off the ban list. 3 copies of Thunder Dragon Colossus. With this card, it must either be fusion summon or special summon during the turn. A Thunder monster effect was activated from the hand by tributing 1 Thunder effect non-fusion monster, in which case you do not use polymerization. Cards cannot be added from the main deck to your opponent's hand except by drawing them. And if this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish the Thunder monster from your graveyard instead. So on top of the added protection, you have the lockdown play, with this card being able to just restrict your opponent from adding cards from their deck to hand, except by drawing them. And having a 3 of just gives you more and more resources for this Thunder Dragon monster to be able to summon out quite easily. The 1 copy of Thunder Dragon Titan, and then I have the 1 additional copy of Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon as another spot just for a fusion monster to be able to summon out. If you want to run a second Dragon Titan, you can always take out the Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon for that spot. And then the 2 copies of Kaminari Attack for the Ready Fusion and Instant Fusion targets, with our Link monsters being the 1 Summer Summoner, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 IP Masquerena, the 1 Lena the Light Charmer, and for the different Link monsters, 1 Relinquished Anima, the 1 Nightmare Unicorn, for just different ones to also be able to go into, keeping in tune with the light and dark attributes that we run to go for more of the banish with some of our bigger monsters. And then lastly, the 1 number 90 and the 1 Sky Crisis number 90 being able to be summoned out onto the field with just some more of our banished resources, whether we use Thunder Dragon Colossus to overlay with cards like the Chaos Creator and Thunder Dragon Duo, and then Sky Crisis as an overlay play if our opponent uses the extra deck more than twice during their turn. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, some of the bigger setup or easier setup can just resolve with cards like Dragon Hawk, and then other cards like our Dragon Dark. If you have these two cards in your hand, you can go for the search and setup with these cards as well. So on your opponent's turn, you can send off the Dragon Dark to the graveyard, giving you a search for another one from your deck to your hand. So then you can have that added resource to your hand to use. And then the following turn on your turn, you can discard the Dragon Hawk from your hand, especially one of your Thunder Dragon monsters that is banished in your graveyard. So you can just summon back the discarded Dragon Dark onto the field. Since you activated a Thunder Dragon effect, you can then banish or tribute that card to summon out your Thunder Dragon Colossus to the field as well. And then with this card, if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand, except for Thunder Dragon Dark. This will give you your Thunder Dragon Fusion from your deck to your hand. Then you can use the Fusion play using the 2 Thunder Dragon monsters in your graveyard and the 1 Dragon Dark in your hand, shuffling back those 3 cards to then also summon out your Thunder Dragon Titan onto the field. So with that, you just have the 2 boss monsters that easily ready to go on the field. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy. Like I said, always like updating the Thunder Dragon deck with the added changes now with the deck being at full power once again for the Thunder Dragon engine. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.